Greetings, Eric Backer back again. I'm a naturopath from New Zealand, wonderful New Zealand. I'm going to talk to you today about Pau d'Arco treatment for nail infections. Now, this is effective if you've got toenail fungus or if you've got fingernail yeast infections. It doesn't really matter. It's going to work effectively. You can even use this treatment for scalp yeast infections. What you've got to do is get hold of some very good quality Pau d'Arco bark. Okay, so I've got some bark here. You can just buy bark on the internet. There are many different companies that will sell the Pau d'Arco bark. It's better if you get between 2 to 4% lapacol content. So the active ingredient is called lapacol, L-A-P-A-C-H-O-L. So if you get a high-grade lapacol content of a Pau d'Arco, you're going to get a better effect. Now, what you've got to do, you've got to make a concentrated product up. And how you're going to do that is you're going to use quite a lot of Pau d'Arco. Now, I've done a previous video on a vaginal yeast infection treatment. I've also talked about a tea you can generally drink if you've got candida internally. Now, this is a nail problem, so you need to make a lot stronger than you would if you were going to use it vaginally or internally, okay? A lot stronger. Now, how are you going to achieve that? Easily. You're going to use about a whole cup of the bark, a cup. So pack a whole cup of the bark. You're going to pour it in a stainless steel or glass or iron saucepan. Don't use aluminum. I mean, just bin those things, they're junk. Throw it in there. Now, for 1 cup of Pau d'Arco, you're going to use 3 to 4 cups of water. Okay, so put that in your saucepan. Cold water, quality water. Bring it to the rolling boil. As soon as it's boiling, you're going to reduce it and simmer it for 1 hour. 1 whole hour. It's a long time, I know, but get it to a really low setting. Another very good tip I got from a patient in the US was this guy got rid of all of his toenail infections by doing this. He got a crock pot. You know, one of those pots you can leave on low setting overnight where you cook casseroles and stuff in? What do you call them? Slow cookers? I think we call them crock pots over here. What a crock. Yeah, absolute crock. But it really works. Trust me, this works. So just get a small slow cooker. Okay, so you're going to use 1 cup of the Pau d'Arco bark, pack it right in, and then 4 cups of water, 3 to 4 cups, and then put it on low, leave it on overnight, or put it on high, leave it on for about, say, 4 or 5 hours. Now, when you're finished and you taste this stuff, it should be like, bleh. It should be like really strong, okay, or it's not going to work. Strong, strong, strong. So once you've got this strong extract, you're going to basically filter it. Okay, so get the bark in a strainer or use maybe a coffee filter paper and squeeze out all the juice remaining out of that bark. And you've left with this really dark, beautiful orange-brown colored liquid. Now that's what you're going to use on your toenails, okay? It's a matter of really keeping the toenail wet. Now, some people I know put it in a foot bath, okay? Now, other people will have a small bowl, stainless steel bowl, with the Pau d'Arco, very strong extract, and just put the hands or the fingers in there as they're watching TV or watching YouTube, So put the fingers in there and leave them in for a minimum of 1 hour. So try and do that 1 hour treatment 2 to 3 times per week with either a foot bath or a hand bath. And you watch what happens to your nail fungus. This is a really, really effective treatment. It absolutely nails the nail infection. So this is feedback I've received from many people. It can also be used in conjunction with some tea tree oil, Australian tea tree oil dropped on a toenail, or a little bit of oregano oil. Some people have told me that they use a very small piece of fine wet and dry sandpaper or a nail file just to sort of scuff the surface of the nail to make it more porous for the fluids to get in there. Other people say it doesn't really matter. So try that. I got another patient told me about using a nail brush in conjunction with this treatment to sort of brush around the nail, really saturate that whole tissue in that area. But I can tell you now this is a very effective treatment for toenail and fingernail fungus. You could also consider washing your hair or just soaking your hair with this Pau d'Arco treatment. And you could also even get some in a dropper and just put a few drops in your ear if you get continually itchy ears. So it could work for the ear, the scalp, the nails, your toenails and fingernails. Don't use it this strength vaginally. You're going to look at my other video I've done on vaginal yeast infection if you want to use Pau d'Arco. So give all that a try and give me some feedback. Don't forget to click on the link below if you haven't got my Candida report, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for tuning in.